Now it's Monday morning and we're going along to meet our current head teacher, Neil Dalton, and he'll tell us about the school, its children, and how it's going to approach the new millennium, together with the services expected from a modern school.
The school itself, as far as we can make out from records, started in mid-70s. We think the first building actually was transferred here in about 72. And I say transfer because it's actually a mobile building, or an Elliot as we call it. The main part of the building was built about 75, and that was 2 classrooms, some toilets, which are essential, and a very small staff room, but interestingly, no office. In about 88, the room actually we're standing in at the moment was built, and that was built alongside 1 classroom. So we ended up with 3 classrooms, staff room, and a hall. And the hall is fantastic. It's a lovely room. Since that time, though, the school has expanded from 75 children to 184, which is quite some size. But the facilities haven't kept pace. I came here 3 years ago, and in that time, although the school has expanded, it's actually gone along the lines of a slight alteration of the way we operate. Because in about 1992, the government decided that all the children with moderate learning difficulties should be incorporated within mainstream education. Now, 3 years ago, it was quite apparent that what was happening was that these children were being incorporated, but because the funding follows the child, as soon as a child leaves school, the funding goes, the jobs go, so people are made redundant. So about 3 years ago, we decided to expand the school sort of horizontally in a way, and we approached the county council, and we tried to get what we call block funding. Now, what block funding gave us was the ability to employ staff, to look after children, and we talk about non-teaching support, and more importantly, to give them guaranteed jobs. So we get the money, we employ the staff, we provide 12 places. And what that's actually done is given the whole school a slightly different dimension. Because out of 184 children, we've got, as you would find in Taunton, if you took 184 adults in Taunton off the streets, you would find those with learning difficulties, those with visual problems, those with hearing problems, you'd find those with mobility problems, and that's exactly what we've got here. We've got a whole mixture of children, and it's fantastic, because the children with problems, learning problems, they develop, and the children that don't have those problems, they develop as well. It helps all children to become tolerant and have empathy and sympathy for everybody else. Yeah, it may seem strange. I'm getting quite excited actually, because for the first time ever in this school, we've actually been able to do a little bit of self-help. It's cost a lot of money, as I say, very little support for anybody else. But we've now begun the first phase of extending the school. We're building a disabled toilet, we've got a medical facility, and we are expanding the old, well, dare I say, staff room come office into an office suite. We've got 184 children, 6 classes, but of course there are 7 year groups. If we could have 7 classrooms with 7 year groups, we'd have single age classes, and that would be ideal. And I think that's our aim for the next 2 or 3 years, try to work towards 7 classes. On the site, we've got, as I say, the main school buildings. We've got a nice field. We've got temporary buildings, which will one day perhaps be replaced. But we've also got the Rascals Hut. We call it the Rascals Hut. It's a bit unkind. It's not a hut. It's a very nice facility, and they are hoping to expand there and double in size. And what that does is it provides time for children on demand from approximately 8:15 to the beginning of school, from the end of school till 5:30, 6 o'clock, and it also provides facilities during the holidays, and that's open to any child in any school in Taunton. The way that teaching assistants operate over the last few years has gone from the times when people wash milk bottle tops, wash paper pots, etc., into very much more of a teaching role. And that is one of the reasons why we wanted to go into what we call the resource-based setup. where we have the block funding, because what that does is enable us to keep staff, train staff, and keep the skills within the school. The children themselves, although we are a village school and the catchment area is just the village, come from as far afield as the other side of Taunton, the Blackbrook area of Taunton, Falcon, Henley, Hatch Beecham, Crete, St Michael, Monkton Heathfield. They come from a wide area, and we like to think they come because they choose us, and I think they must do come in that distance. When we were asked to do something for the exhibition, one of the things that the children were really interested in was one of the things that I'm interested in, which is how the school is going to change. So we set to work on looking at the site around the school, and they designed an extension to the village. And they looked at all the problems, they did a few questionnaires, and they decided that there was an issue of expansion in the village, which was needed in their eyes. That may conflict with other people's opinions, but these are 8 and 9-year-olds. The development would be for about 100 to 150 houses. There would be an old people's residence. There would be doctor's surgery, health centre, lake, woodland walks, shops, and a lot of open ground with a lot of planting. And in fact, when we looked at it ourselves, although I don't live in the village, if the village were to be developed, I think that could actually be a very good blueprint. The children who did it were 8, 9, 1 or 2 were 10 years old, but they weren't very old. And I think they showed remarkable maturity and skill, actually. It was very, very good, very well done. And they got very excited. And the nice thing about it was that every child did something. So the models and the photographs and the drawings, etc., are representative of the children.